You are Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
The Denver Nuggets are streaking, ladies and gentlemen. Their seventh straight win comes on Monday night against the Portland Trailblazers. Your final score, Denver blows them out tonight, 146-117. You absolutely love to see it. Denver playing some immaculate basketball here so far in the month of February, but really throughout, the course of 2025 so far. There's been a couple of bad losses here or there, a couple of bad moments here or there, but for a majority of what we've seen since we've turned the calendar, the Denver Nuggets are looking like a team that wants to contend for a championship, can contend for a championship. And look, I know it's Portland tonight, who's one of the worst teams in the NBA overall, but Denver gets the job done in convincing fashion, 146-117. What is up, Nuggets Nation? Welcome on in to your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I am your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. And do me a favor, if you're watching live on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast right here on your Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. And guys, tonight's episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. More from our friends over at FanDuel a little bit later on in the program. But all in all, man, just another fun, pretty stress-free game from the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic gets the fourth quarter off. Jamal Murray basically got the fourth quarter off as he was ejected in this game for his second technical foul. Kind of soft. It was a weird officiating night. Both teams got some warnings. Neither side was happy with the officiating tonight. Jokic with a couple of egregious missed foul calls, which is nothing new. We all know that Jokic doesn't get the calls that traditional MVPs, best players in the world, get. I'm not trying to go on and on about that because it didn't matter for the big man tonight as he finishes with 40 points for the Denver Nuggets. So you'll love to see that in 3 quarters, I may add. Just another night at the office for Jokic, hitting a corner step back 3. I mean, what else is there to really say about the big fella? He just continues, and I'm looking at it here on my box score on ESPN. The number one thing under the Nuggets is Nikola Jokic somehow hits contested 3 from impossible angle, which is just par for the course for Nikola Jokic and for the Denver Nuggets the last few years as he continues to cement himself as the best player in the world. 31 minutes tonight for the big fella, 40 points, a plus 22 in the box plus minus, 7 rebounds, 8 assists tonight for Big Honey. He was 8 of 8 from the free throw line, 2 of 7 from 3, 15 of 22 from the field. I mean, what else is there to say that we haven't already said about Nikola Jokic this season? He just continues to wow as this season continues to progress. And look, we'll see what happens with the MVP. I'm not trying to get too caught up in that. I'd rather talk championship. I'd rather talk playoffs. But he is obviously a front runner. It's going to come down to him and SGA when it's all said and done for the MVP conversation. But a good game tonight, an efficient 31 minutes played for the big fella. Absolutely love to see it. Jamal Murray, when he was playing, did a pretty good job tonight again as he continues to play some solid basketball. 29 minutes for Jamal. He finishes with 17 points. He was a plus 22 in the box plus minus. Only 1 turnover tonight for Jamal. 8 assists, which you'll love to see from the Blue Arrow as well. 1 of 2 from 3, 7 of 10 from the field. So lot to like from Jamal Murray's game tonight as Denver continues to play good basketball throughout the course of 2025 here. Aaron Gordon, bit of a quiet night. A lot of quiet nights lately for Aaron Gordon, but that's not the worst thing in the world considering that he's been listed. I don't know if it was questionable, but he's on the injury report every game right now for that calf strain management. So I think right now with Aaron Gordon, it's more so about making sure that he feels good, he feels healthy, and the longevity, right? Still a long way to go in this season as we're broadcasting live here on Monday, February the 10th. So multiple months worth of basketball still to come up. The second season still coming up as well with the playoffs. So I'm not going to read too much into Aaron Gordon only having 9 points, especially when you as a team put up 146. But AG tonight, 1 of 1 from 3, grabbed 2 rebounds, dished out 7 assists, had a steal. So he was stuffing the stat sheet for sure. And you're wondering, why have I not talked about Christian Braun? Because Christian Braun was probably your player of the game outside of Nikola Jokic. I think Christian Braun and Jalen Pickett, quite frankly, deserve their own segment. I think I did that on Saturday night as well because I thought Pickett and Braun both had really good games. But we are going to spend the entire second segment talking about Christian Braun and talking about Jalen Pickett because they both put forth fantastic performances tonight. I tweeted it out during the game at Media by AP if you guys want to follow me. Jalen Pickett can play, folks. It's taken him a little time to get acclimated to the NBA, but the more game reps, the more game action that he sees, the better off Jalen Pickett is going to be. I understand that he's a bit undersized. I'll save these thoughts for the second segment because I want to get into it now. But like I said, we'll dive into that here in a moment. But Jalen Pickett can play. He can play. Is he going to solve all of the Nuggets' answers this season? Probably not. But can he give him some more juice? Can he be consistent, which has been one of the faults of a guy like Julian Strawther? Same draft class too, I believe. Right? They were both rookies last year. It all kind of blends together in my head these days. But, Jalen Pickett, nice game from him tonight. So we'll talk about him and CB coming up here in just a little bit. But, even Zeke Naji got involved tonight. He was a plus 11 in the box plus minus. A nice double-digit performance for Zeke, 11 points, grabbed 5 rebounds, dished out 3 assists, had a steal, was getting animated. You like to see that from Zeke Naji because anything positive from Zeke Naji is indeed a positive considering that he hasn't done much. And once again, everybody plays tonight for the Denver Nuggets with the exception of Dario Saric, who has just been relegated to the shadow realm. He does not play unless their hand is absolutely forced. So everybody gets some minutes tonight except for Super Dario, who's not so super this year. But it is what it is Denver smacks the Portland Trailblazers 146-117 for now check that, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but a 7-game winning streak for the boys. You absolutely love to see it. They're now 34-19 on the season, 17-8 on their, I think 18-8. I don't think that's updated as of yet because I heard them say it on the postgame show. Yes, now I hit refresh and it updates. So they're 35-19, 18-8 at home this season, which has been great. They're playing good basketball right now, are the Denver Nuggets. And I mean, they just dismantled Portland in virtually every aspect of this game. I mean, also, when you shoot just under 66% from the field, you're not going to lose very many basketball games. And that's exactly what Denver did tonight. They were 60 for 91 from the field, good for 65.9%. Portland 45.5%, 40 for 88. Denver actually got outshot from three-point land, so not the best three-point shooting night tonight from Denver. They only shot 32% from beyond the arc, 8 for 25. Portland was 40.5%. That's 15 for 37. So once again, they're getting, killed on the volume. But Denver, for the most part this season, have been really good at knocking down three-point shots. They're never going to they're probably never going to outshoot anybody from three. The key is, can they outshoot them from a percentage perspective? They're never going to outshoot them from a volume perspective. That's just how it goes with Denver. But what they lack in three-point shooting in regards to volume, they make up for with their transition offense. We know that Denver is the best team in the NBA right now on the fast break. They outscored Portland tonight 29-12 on the fast break points here as well. And they absolutely dismantled them in the paint. 88 points for Denver coming tonight in the paint compared to just 46 for the Portland Trailblazers. And I think, this game was pretty much over and done with early. That third quarter really put this game to bed, but DeAndre Ayton, the big fella for Portland there in the middle, did leave this game with an injury. Only 19 minutes played for him. So Denver was definitely able to take advantage of some spurts there in the paint for sure. So definitely something to keep an eye on tonight. But I mean, nobody eclipsed 20 plus points for the Portland Trailblazers in their starting lineup. They had a couple of 20 plus point guys, Dalano Banton, and Donovan Clingan, or not Donovan. Yes, Donovan Clingan. He had 21 and Banton had 22 off of the bench for Portland, but they did a good job to Denver of pretty much locking up everybody in the starting lineup. Anthony Simons led the way tonight for Portland with 17 points, and that's really all she wrote tonight for Denver as they get the job done in convincing fashion. Portland had a lead early in this game, only 2 points, but Denver led by as many as 32, obviously, when you have a 146-117 final score. So a lot to be happy with, a lot to be pleased with tonight from the Denver Nuggets as they earn their 35th victory of the season. And we'll see what happens here now on Wednesday night. They'll have an off day tomorrow, and they'll come back on Wednesday to face the same Portland Trailblazers team. So you think Portland's going to, be on their A game, right? Going to, kind of have that bad taste in their mouth, but we'll see if Denver can come right back out on Wednesday there, try to punch them in the mouth as they did tonight in that 146-117 victory. Okay, Christian Braun, Jalen Pickett conversation coming up here after the break. If you guys got any thoughts, opinions, questions, whatever it might be, go ahead and drop those in the comment section. We'll go back and forth here, have some fun on your Locked On Nuggets postcast as Denver wins their 7th game in a row, 146-117 over the Portland Trailblazers. Talking Christian Braun, talking Jalen Pickett when we come back right here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. All right, you guys, real quick, let me tell you about our friends over at Skims, because when I found out Skims was making underwear for men, I was intrigued. I've heard so much about their quality from friends and family, so I had to give it a try. Let me tell y'all, it lives up to the hype. I've always had issues with underwear, fit, comfort, or just finding the right style for me. Skims has changed all of that. Their men's line offers something for everybody from boxer briefs to classic briefs, all designed with the perfect balance of comfort and style. I tried the Skims different boxer briefs, and I'm absolutely hooked. These are perfect for my active lifestyle. They move with me, never lose their shape, and stay in place all day. Whether I'm working out or just running errands, they're the most comfortable and reliable underwear I've ever owned. Plus, the lightweight material feels amazing, almost like you're wearing nothing at all. And listen up, guys. Shop Skims Men at skims.com and Skims stores. Let them know that we sent you. That's Locked On Nuggets. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. And if you're looking for the perfect gift for Valentine's Day or for yourself, Skims just launched their best Valentine's shop ever. Available in sizes for women, men, kids, and even pets. Did you know that? So be sure to check out our friends over at Skims, guys. Let them know that Locked On Nuggets sent you, and go ahead and do that. Check out our friends over at Skims. All right, you guys, welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I am your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. And if you're watching live on YouTube, appreciate y'all as always. Do me a favor, if you can, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast right here on your Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. I'm back from New Orleans. I was out there all last week. I got my crawfish Super Bowl LIX Super Bowl 59 t-shirt. So that's why, I missed those Pelicans games, but we're back in the saddle. We're ready to go, man. And the Denver Nuggets have not skipped a beat. So hopefully you won some money last night. If you bet the Eagles, I did not. I bet the Chiefs. More on that with our friends over at FanDuel. I did hit one bet, which was only available at FanDuel, and I cashed out nicely, and I might take those winnings and roll it on over to Nuggets title odds, maybe. I like those long shots, man. They're, I think, 11-1, 14-1. Last I checked, some long odds for Denver. So might have to go ahead and do that. But okay, without further ado, Christian Braun, Jalen Pickett. Let's start with CB, man. 37 minutes tonight for CB, excuse me. He did have 26 points, which is not too shabby. Led the team in box plus minus tonight. He was a plus 34 was Christian Braun. So 26 points from CB, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a block. What more do you want to see? He was 12 of 14 from the field. And they dropped this pretty cool stat during the broadcast tonight that Christian Braun leads all shooting guards in dunks so far this season. Second place being former Denver Nugget trade rumor player Zach LaVine, who's about 10 or so dunks behind him. So clearly the athleticism, we all know that Christian Braun has it, but I did not know that he was leading the NBA among shooting guards in dunks made this season. So CB's doing his thing. And man, after a really rough month of December for Christian Braun. He has really rounded into form for Denver since we flipped to 2025. And again, tonight, rewarded with a great game, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 5 of them coming on the defensive side of the glass, 2 assists as well. And he's just that guy that brings that energy, man. He brings that hustle game in and game out. He's a Michael Malone type of player. He's going to play hard. You never have to question Christian Braun's work ethic. He's not that streaky of a player. He's not necessarily known for his jump shooting, I guess is what it is. And obviously when you're having to replace KCP in the starting lineup, a true 3-and-D guy that you could rely on to knock down some big shots, those are big shoes to fill. And Christian Braun did an excellent job of playing that complementary role on that championship team in 2023. But now this season, he's been asked to step up and do more than he has in the past 2 seasons. And I think he's responded to that challenge very well, having to play through some mistakes, just like Jalen Pickett, who we'll talk about here in a moment. I think there's some similarities in kind of their trajectory in the NBA, obviously on different levels, different roles with this Denver Nuggets team, but both have been effective. Obviously, Christian Braun more so than Jalen Pickett. I got some Jalen Pickett stock that I'm buying right now. I think he could be a legitimate rotation player for this Denver Nuggets team moving forward. We'll have to see. Maybe he plays himself into this rotation with his current level of play. But for Christian Braun here tonight, man, I mean, you just absolutely love to see it. Again, super efficient from the field, 12 of 14, and just the hustle and the energy just really helps give this team some juice that sometimes you can see them lacking, right? Jokic is a lead by example type of guy. He's not like that. Like we've seen Jokic get vocal, right? But he's not going to, Jokic is going to do Jokic, right? You know what I'm trying to say. Jamal and MPJ sometimes can get into those little funks where like they kind of just look a little lost out there. Aaron Gordon, I think, is, this chill reserve guy. He gets animated too. But I think Christian Braun is an energy player first. He plays with that energy on a game in and game out basis, which is absolutely positively what this Denver Nuggets team needs. And so love what we saw tonight from Christian Braun. And then we've got Jalen Pickett, man, out of Penn State, doing his thing, number 24, 29 minutes played tonight, same amount of minutes played as Jamal Murray. He got some extra minutes there, likely because Jamal got thrown out of the game. Julius Randle played 35, so let me take that back. But Jalen Pickett tonight, 29 minutes off the bench, did lead the bench in minutes played here tonight. He was a plus 22 in the box plus minus. 14 points tonight for Pick, 1 of 4 from 3, 6 of 10 from the field, 9 assists for Jalen Pickett off the bench. You love to see that. So a near double-double for Jalen Pickett within spitting distance of a double-double, and he adds 3 rebounds. So and 2 steals. So a really complete game from Jalen Pickett. Let me see if I could pull up his game log here real quick, because he's had some moments here for the Denver Nuggets in these last few games. I talked about him pretty extensively on Saturday as well. So yeah, on Saturday against Phoenix, only 6 points, but he gets an assist, gets a rebound in that game. Against Orlando over the weekend as well. Was that the weekend, or that's when I was in New Orleans? That was on Friday, excuse me. Only 5 points, but dishes out 5 assists, has a block, 3 rebounds in that game. New Orleans, 4 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, right? So I know that these numbers aren't necessarily jumping off the sheet as they did tonight with 14 and 9, or 14 points, 9 assists, that is. But I've said it again, or I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Give this guy some run. Let Jalen Pickett earn his keep, because we've seen him go down to the G League, and now look at Jalen Pickett's on the postgame show right now with Vic Lombardi and Chris Dempsey. Let this kid play through his mistakes. I understand that he's a bit undersized for a guard in the NBA, but I think you saw him tonight with the hand fighting. Like defensively, he's going to figure out ways to make up for what he lacks in size with some physicality and play that kind of Joker, I guess I can't say Joker because there's a Joker on the team, but kind of play that spoiler type of role, hand checking, going for some swipes, going for some steals, playing that crafty type of guard role. And I just, you even saw that one sequence late in the game where Jalen Pickett kind of goes, dribble around the paint, boom, merry-go-round, layup, boom. I mean, this is a guy who I think is a very high IQ player. I just think, obviously I never played in the NBA, but the one thing that you hear, not just in the NBA, the NFL, MLB, hockey, whatever it might be, is that there is an acclimation period for lack of a better phrase, the non-elite players, right? Like you have to get used to the speed of the game going from college to the NBA, going from the D League to the NBA. And I think that Jalen Pickett, again, while he is a bit undersized, I think he's got a bag deep enough that if he can learn how to just play through some of his mistakes, get game reps, and just, again, repetition, I think Jalen Pickett could play that Monte Morris type role, man. And I think Jalen Pickett can potentially steal some minutes from Julian Strawther. Strawther's been fine. I don't think Strawther's been great. He's been good in moments, but he's also been terrible and bad in others, specifically on the defensive side of the floor. And, even offensively, he's been a bit hit or miss. So can Jalen Pickett kind of chisel away at some of these Julian Strawther minutes? I just think that Jalen Pickett deserves some run. And again, this was against Portland. They did it against, I guess Phoenix was banged up the other night, Orlando, right? So these are not the best teams in the world. It's not like he's doing this against Memphis or Oklahoma City. But I think that's where the trust in Michael Malone comes in, as well as, hey, this kid's been eating. This kid's been putting in the work in practice. This kid's been waiting for his moment. Give him the chance, coach. I just think Jalen Pickett, Denver doesn't have the luxury to go out. They didn't make a trade, right? Like they're a bit hindered in free agency as well with where they're at salary-wise. So you've got to do what you can to turn lemons into lemonade. And I'm not trying to say that Jalen Pickett's a lemon, right? But you've got to do the most with what you've got on your roster. And I just think Jalen Pickett is a raw, untapped player that could really contribute to this Denver Nuggets team throughout the course of the season and potentially into the playoffs. Agree, disagree? Let me know. But a good game tonight for Jalen Pickett as well as Christian Braun. Once again, Jalen Pickett finishing this game here tonight with 14 points. CB has 26. And the Denver Nuggets extend their win streak to 7 games with a 146-117 victory over the Portland Trailblazers. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the comment section. We're going to hit a quick break. We'll come back, take a look at what is coming up for the Denver Nuggets on their schedule. All-Star break around the corner, and a couple of closing thoughts here on the game tonight as Denver blows out the Portland Trailblazers 146-117. Let me know how you're feeling out there. Drop some comments. Let me know. And we'll be back here in just a moment on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Back in just a moment, folks. All right, you guys, real quick, let me tell you about our friends over at FanDuel. When the game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started, and there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because with FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game, so even if you miss the opening tip-off or want to bet on a fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in the action. And if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay. I love using FanDuel's live betting feature because it keeps every moment of the game exciting, whether I'm backing my team for a late game rally or picking up a player to hit a clutch 3. I never feel like I missed my chance. Plus, the app is easy to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And I hit a pretty cool bet last night. FanDuel was doing this thing where if you opted in for the Super Bowl, basically if you picked an anytime touchdown scorer and that touchdown scorer scored either the first or the last touchdown of the game, you basically got a piece of the pie with some bonus money that they had allocated. So I chose Xavier Worthy for my anytime touchdown scorer, and he ends up scoring the last touchdown of the game there. And I think I only put like $5 on it, to be honest, $10. And obviously he scores the last touchdown of the game. And I opened up my FanDuel Sportsbook app today, and I got a nice little $65 bonus bet that I can use. And whenever I get bonus bets, I don't know about y'all, I swing for the fences. And so part of me is thinking about, do I put this on Nuggets to win the finals? Do I put this on my Mets to win the World Series? I don't know. You guys let me know. But FanDuel is my personal favorite sports book. I know it'll be yours too if you've not signed up with them yet. Be sure to check out our friends over at FanDuel and let them know that Locked On Nuggets sent you. Okay, welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I am your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at media by AP, if your heart desires. And do me a favor, if you're watching on YouTube, appreciate y'all as always. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast right here on your Locked On Sports Denver YouTube channel. We got a comment here from my guy, Philip. He says, what a game. Still annoyed Jokic didn't get the 3+1 in the first half for sure. But everyone played great. Pickett looking like a playoff option right now. 100%, man. 100%. Just talked about that in the last segment. I just think that of all the players on the roster, potentially the one player with the most untapped potential is Jalen Pickett. Simple as that. I think Jalen Pickett could be a player in this league for at least the next few years. While he's in his 20s, entering into his prime physically, all that kind of stuff. I would love to see some more Jalen Pickett minutes moving forward. But nice to see Jokic get another fourth quarter off. I know that Murray didn't want to get ejected either, but he only ends up playing 29 minutes tonight. So, not like you're having to push these guys into the mid to deep 30s in their minutes played. Christian Braun played 37 tonight. But any night you can give Jokic and Jamal, albeit not designed by Jamal, a little bit of extra rest here or there, a minute or two here or there, whatever it might be, with a day off tomorrow. That is a win, especially when you also get the win as Denver did tonight. Your final score 146-117. Love it. And again, no Russell Westbrook, no Michael Porter Jr., two guys that have been big parts of this Denver Nuggets team so far throughout the course of the season. So let's take a look here at the upcoming schedule before we get out of here. Denver will once again play the Portland Trailblazers on Wednesday. So 2 games in a row against Portland. They'll have tomorrow off, and then they'll come back on Wednesday at home to face the Blazers. Final game before the All-Star break. So Denver plays on Wednesday the 12th, and then they do not play again until February the 20th. And a couple of, they should win both of these games, folks. They've got Portland at home, and then they come back from the break on the 20th, which is a Thursday, with Charlotte at home. So they're going to get, basically a week off here, and they come back to play Charlotte. So you should extend this winning streak to 8 games with a win on Wednesday. And then hopefully, if that is, what ends up being the case here, you can go for that 9th straight win against Charlotte before you've got a pretty action-packed game here against the Los Angeles Lakers on Saturday, February the 22nd. Of course, that is an ABC ESPN game as well. So primetime Luka Doncic, who's making his debut tonight for the Lakers. That should be a fun game for sure. But Denver, man, streaking. Beat the Sixers 137-134, beat the Hornets 107-104, beat the Pelicans 125-113, beat the Pelicans again 144-119, beat Orlando 112-90, beat Phoenix 122-105, beat Portland now 146-17. That's your 7-game win streak right now for Denver. And you know what I love about this win streak is it's been a mix. I mean, obviously you expect the big 3, but it hasn't all been Jokic in the scoring department. Jamal has led the Nuggets in scoring in 2 of these 7 games. Michael Porter Jr. has led the Nuggets in scoring in 3 of these 7 games. Jokic with the other 2. So, you love to see the diversity that you're getting from the scoring department. And I know Michael Porter Jr. has been out, but he's been red hot for this Denver Nuggets team. So, likely, probably rest him on this game on Wednesday. Same with Russell Westbrook, maybe even Aaron Gordon for that matter, to be honest with you. You're playing so well right now, give him an extra game off. You got a week off after that for the All-Star break, and you come back ready to go, focused. I think it was it last year, post All-Star break? I know it was last year, but I don't remember if it was post All-Star break where you had KCP at practice talking about how Jokic sent a text message to the team group chat about, hey, it's time to lock in. Because post All-Star break, man, it is going to be time to lock in. And Denver slowly creeping up the standings here, folks. I believe now, I don't know if this is, this is not, because Denver's 35 wins, right? Yeah, 35-19. I don't know if Memphis played tonight off the top of my head. But Denver's creeping up there on that 2 seed with the Memphis Grizzlies. I believe they're only a half game back now. They were 1.5 games back entering into the game here tonight. So Denver, I don't know if they're going to be able to catch Oklahoma City, who's 43-9. Oklahoma City has been dominant all year, but that's also the luxury of a team like Denver, where you've won an NBA championship already with this core, right? Jokic, Murray, Brown, Gordon, MPJ is like, obviously you want to be the 1 seed. Obviously you want to have home court advantage all throughout the course of the playoffs, but you feel pretty good about your chances in a 7-game series when Denver's playing like they are right now against just about anybody, Oklahoma City included. And so again, I'm not trying to get too far ahead of myself. maybe this is just a hot spurt for this team, but if they can keep playing like they've been playing for majority of 2025, man, who's to say this team can't go on a run? And I was texting about it with my buddy earlier today when I was asking him if I should put this bonus bet on the Nuggets. You always have a chance when you have the best in the world. And that's where the Denver Nuggets are right now. Best player in the world, a lot of talent. C'est la vie. Denver tonight, big-time win over the Portland Trail Blazers. They're 7th in a row, folks, 146-117. All right, that's going to do it for me. Really appreciate y'all, as always, for tapping into the stream. If you're watching on YouTube, do me that favor on your way out. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. All right, enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. We'll talk to you guys on Wednesday night as the Denver Nuggets look to make it 8 in a row when they take on the Portland Trail Blazers once again. Enjoy your night, folks. We'll talk to you guys then.